Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I am Danielle, aka Stitcherista here on YouTube, and today is Tuesday, June 7th. So today has been a good day. Yesterday was a good day. I stayed up a little later than I anticipated, but I was able, and I didn't even sleep in. Like I was up at like 6:30 because my job today doesn't start until 2 o'clock. By the time you guys see this, I will probably already be working. But right now it's a little bit past 1 o'clock. So I have had like the day to get stuff done. So gotten everything done, prepped for tomorrow's job because we have a regular job full day tomorrow starting at 10 a.m. And I finished my coloring page. And I wasn't sure how it was going to turn out. I almost abandoned it because I kind of messed up her skin. Let me show you. So this is Fragile Heart from the Hannah Lynn Sweet and Simple Whimsy Girls, the pocket edition. That is the artist edition too. And so when I was coloring her skin, I did this first and I kind of like messed it up. I don't know if you can tell, but this is a little bit lighter. And then I just kept going. And then I couldn't like figure out how I wanted to do like this and the hearts because I try to follow the picture that Hannah Lynn did. And I don't know. So it turned out all right. It's not my favorite one, but I absolutely love her hair. What I did was 3 shades of pink, and then I did some brown strands. And then I used stickles on the brown strands, like copper stickles, so give it kind of a glittery effect. And then on the background, I used my chalk pastels in purple and pink. So I think it turned out overall really good, and I already put the washi tape around it, so all I have to do is put it in the junk journal. Yeah. So I thought it turned out pretty good, though. I'm still learning. On... but having fun with it. So yeah, I finished that this morning. And I did do some stitching last night. So I did some coloring yesterday, and then I did some stitching last night on my I'm pretty sure it's called Be Happy. Is it? Yes, it's called Be Happy by Primrose Cottage Stitches. Remember, it's in 3 pieces. And I'm stitching them, well, it's all in one thing, but I'm stitching it in 3 pieces. So here is my progress. So I got done the word happy and then the bottom row. I think it's cute. I'm actually really liking this as like an accent. I don't think I'll put that up there because once I stitch like the B and everything else, it'll be. But yeah, enjoying it very much. So I think it's looking pretty good. I missed a stitch. I just realized that. I missed 2 stitches. How did I do that? And I'm glad I saw that when I held it up. Watch, I'll show you where I missed them. See, you can tell like right there and there. You can tell it's not like totally, wow. Okay, so I'll have to fix that. Let me set that out there so I can fix that after this video. And so that's all I did for crafting. I did start reading a new book. It is called A Gracious Neighbor by Chris Candor. And it is #1 in new releases. And I was able to get the book for free. It's not coming out until July 1st. I was able to get the book for free because Amazon, if you're a Prime member, they give you 1 free Prime book a month. They send an email and it has listed in it a couple ones you can choose from, and this is the one I chose. So I will link this down below, even though it's not available until July 1st. But here is the premise. Martha Hale is an affable wife and mother who lives in an affluent neighborhood of well-tended lawns and high expectations. If only her clumsiness at penetrating the social circles of her neighbors weren't making Martha so lonely. That's why she's thrilled when the glamorous Minnie Foster, a former high school classmate, moves in next door. Despite Martha's determination, picking up where they left off is trickier than anticipated, especially when their memories of the past don't always align. But Martha is undeterred. In fact, her preoccupation with Minnie's life, her success, and her marriage is becoming an obsession. When she sees a darkness and shame hiding inside Minnie's perfectly deceptive home, Martha realizes that not even Minnie's secrets are what they seem. Visceral, sharp-witted, and deeply empathetic, a gracious neighbor explores the judgments women pass on one another and the ills of a society curated to keep them on the outside looking in. And it says, a gripping novel about friendship, secrets, misjudgments, and redemption among women. So far, I'm on like page 50. It's very good. And everyone gave it. It's all got good reviews except there was one person. But yeah, it's definitely not like my normal domestic suspense, but I sometimes read books like these too to give myself a break. And speaking of like a break, right? So normally on YouTube, what I will watch is true crime videos or beauty guru drama or MLM drama, all kinds of stuff like that. And today, the past couple days actually, I've started to edge towards not watching that stuff. Because I feel like when we're on social media, whether it's Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, all those, what you wind up becoming or being, or what your life winds up becoming, is what you're watching and what you're listening to and what's going in. So I have sort of started to listen to more about, there's someone at my front door. Is that Amazon? Maybe. More along the lines of, I still listen to the Minimalist podcast. I've been watching this woman, I forget what her name is, but she's 83 years old. She has over 200,000 subscribers on her channel. And she talks just about life. And stuff like that that is more, do I want to say wholesome? I guess just drama free. Do you know what I mean? I don't know. I find as I get older that I just don't want that kind of stuff in my life anymore, right? Not that I won't do any true crime stories or anything more on my channel, but I'm loving the miracle stories so much. And man, we could just all use some positivity, right? Absolutely. Okay. So let's do a small miracle story. What's the next story? Let's see. Oh, this one's a little longer. Okay. That's okay. I got a little bit of time. Okay. As a young bride in the summer of 1972, Faith Peterson came to, and that is not her name, I don't think. It has a little asterisk there. I think they changed the name. Faith Peterson came to the Adirondack cottage of her in-laws for a visit. Her doting husband Kevin took her rowing in an idyllic lake framed by pastoral woods. In the boat, sighing contentedly, Faith languidly swished her fingers through the cool water, enjoying the bracing feel of the wet cold against her warm hand. Curling up in a corner of the boat and half dozing, Faith continued running her hand through the water until she suddenly became aware that her diamond engagement ring had slipped off her finger. Oh, shit. Oh, my God, she shrieked to her husband as she sat bolt upright in the boat. My ring's gone. It must have fallen into the water. That's impossible, Kevin said with skepticism. You probably left it in a drawer at the cottage. No, she insisted. I never take it off, never. And besides, just as we were about to climb into the boat, a woman at the dock complimented me on it, so I know I had it on. But how could it have fallen off your finger, Faith? My hand was in the water, Kevin, and the ring was a little loose to begin with. It must have just slipped off. Okay, don't worry, I'll find it, Kevin reassured her and dove into the shallow lake to begin searching the bottom. All day long, he dove again and again into the crystalline waters of the placid lake, confident he would successfully ferret out the missing ring. Oh my God, can you imagine? After all, there was no powerful current coursing through the lake that could have carried the ring away, and there was little debris below the surface that could have trapped it. But each time that his head bobbed to the surface, the story was the same. Not yet, he would yell bravely to Faith as she sat forlornly in the boat, peering anxiously at him. I'll find it this time for sure, he would smile valiantly, descending into the water for yet another foray. Finally, at nightfall, Kevin called it quits. I'm so sorry, honey, he said to his disconsolate spouse, putting an arm around her shoulder. I tried my best. And she says, I know you did, Kevin. And it's not as if the ring isn't insured. We'll get you another one. Kevin, you're sweet, and I know you mean well, but another ring just won't be the same. This is the diamond you gave me when you proposed, when we pledged our eternal love. I treasured it as a symbol for its meaning and sentimental value. Any other diamond will just be an expensive rock. No, it's the original ring I want, Faith said stubbornly. If I can't have the one I lost, then I don't want another one. Let's use the insurance money for something practical like furniture. Okay, honey, Kevin shrugged, too drained from the day's rigors to argue. Yeah. So Faith never got a substitute, not even when they were wealthy and could easily afford one. Now, what year was that? Okay, 72. In 1992, so 20 years later, when Faith and Kevin were a middle-aged couple with teenage children of their own, they took their family to the same Adirondack cottage where they had vacationed as newlyweds. Kevin had inherited it from his parents when they had died, but had since that first visit never returned to the cottage, preferring to rent it out instead. For years, they had sent their children to overnight camp, but this summer, the kids had rebelled. Come on, Dad, they argued. We're too old for camp. Let's go to the Adirondacks for the summer and use Gramps' cottage. When they arrived at the cottage, Kevin was excited. Let me take you out to the lake, he said to his kids as his wife was unpacking. You don't mind, do you, hun? No, go ahead, enjoy yourselves. It's actually much easier for me to finish when you're all out of the way, Faith said, laughing. Hey, Dad, can I take my fishing rod along? Asked the youngest. Sure, I hear the fish are really biting today. When they returned home a few hours later, Kevin and their kids proudly held aloft their prize catch of the day, a huge trout that weighed in at 7 pounds. Guess what's for dinner? Kevin winked at Faith as she directed the requisite oohs and ahs at her youngest, who was glowing with unmasked pride. I never caught such a big one before, he said. It sure is a great catch, Faith agreed as she placed the trout on a cutting board and slid it open with a knife. It sure is a great catch, she repeated, staring in shock at the entrails of the fish. With a sweeping motion of her hand, she beckoned her husband to her side. Inside the belly of the trout was Faith's diamond ring. That is a fantastical story. I hope that's true. Can you imagine 20 years later, you're going to catch the fish that swallowed your ring? 20 years later. So the comment by the author, when you cherish the emotional value of a gift, it can never really be lost, for what you carry in your heart is yours to keep forever. Good night. Can you imagine? That seems a little bit fantastical for me to believe, but I mean, all of these stories they say are true. Yeah, because they interviewed people. Hey, and I guess if that lake is small enough, 20 years though? 20 years? I don't know. Maybe the ring fell on the bottom and Kevin could never find it, and then a fish came along and later on and ate it. I don't know. But wow. Holy hell, right? All right. How are we going to continue to unfuck ourselves in 2022? Fantastic tear. Reminder, that's one more day that you can't get back. Right? You have to live for today. You're not regretting yesterday. You don't know what tomorrow's going to bring. You have to live in today. And you know, who was I talking to? I was talking to my dad. And we were talking about the cruise and everything. And he's like, you know, you only got one life, right? You only get one go around this world, right? Yeah. So you need to make the most of it, right? That's one more day that you can't get back. Okay. All right. So I hope you guys all have a great Tuesday. As always, if you have any questions, please leave them in the comments section below, and I will answer them to the best of my ability. Thank you so much for watching and subscribing and spending about 15 minutes of your time with me today, and I will see you in my next video. Bye, guys.